Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. How is everybody? Colin, Kathleen, how are you doing? Waiting for FedEx. What do we got today? You received your Cardinal order yesterday with the converter. I finally got to the converter. I finally got the ink, the Waterman Expert. I got it at the auction in Chicago. What an unexpected pleasure. Awesome. Hello, David. Oh, it's been a busy day. We are expanding our warehouse, and so I was putting up some shelves and trying to figure out some shelving improvement. We've had some liners that we've used. Oh, hang on. Oh, okay, great. Ryan, thank you. Are the new shelves for the next batch of desk sets? So yesterday, well, hang on. I'll go get it. Because we're gonna work on this pen today. We did get a new desk set yesterday. If I leave my table my desk one more time. So a few weeks ago, I had a consignor ask me if I was interested in. He knows I like desk sets apparently. If I was interested in taking a desk set on consignment. I said yes. Actually, originally I was thinking no. But I said yes, partly because I really, really like this set. And partly because when you're consigning stuff, sometimes you don't, you really don't need to be picky because there's something for somebody. There's something for everyone. Gary, hello, how you doing? And so, but I really like this set. And so it arrived yesterday. And I had it on the table. And originally I was thinking I was going to hide this and then pull this one out on the podcast on Friday. But I didn't really quite get that far because I was a little bit, I was going every which way yesterday. Waiting to see the sign for outside Cardinal Pens, home of the Desk Set Emporium. Oh, we should have done that. I should have put Cardinal Pens welcomes the Desk Set Emporium. So anyway, Lisa saw this, and she didn't know I got it. It's on consignment. She thought it was from you, David. And she said, so she was, she's jokingly upset. I mean, I sold a couple desk sets in the last week. But here it is. Here's the base. She thought you were giving away the good stuff. No, but then when I said you were possibly interested in it, then it really just messed her up. She just didn't know what to think about it. But here it is. It is really stunning. There's the Parker logo right there. Really a stunning elephant in excellent condition. I mean, there's a little bit of this needs to be attended to, but no big deal. And it has a Duofold Jr. button-filled desk pen, which actually looks like it might have a stub on it. So isn't that great? It's just awesome. It's just awesome. It's heavy. I don't see any problems with it whatsoever. No chips. None of that stuff. Yeah, it looks like he's ready to pour ink into the tulip. Yeah, hang on, right there. Isn't that something? It's really, really great. It's really great. you know, we'll see what happens. Let me put it away so I don't drop it. But I can't sell it yet because the pen doesn't write. The button is jammed up, so we need to fix that. And it is a later Vacuumatic nib, but it's a stub. Great white elephant gift. Yeah, anybody wants to give me that as a white elephant gift, go ahead. That would be great. So anyway, that was funny. Yeah, you saw one like out on eBay, except the elephant is missing one tusk. It's very easy for that, type of figure roll to have missing pieces. So that one didn't. So we'll work on the pen today. But yeah, no, the shelves are. We're moving some things around because we're getting a little bit harder to find places to move things without actually moving things. Because the space we wanted to rent, which was on the other side, is rented out for the rest of the year. So I have to make this work for the rest of the year. And something tells me the way that's going, that maybe that they might rent it out longer, the people who rent it out. So I've got 2 new shelves that are going to be, well, I've got more ink coming and I've got more paper coming. So I just ordered a bunch of new Rhodia today that I didn't have before. And there are a few more new Midori, I'm sorry, not Midori, MD products. SKUs came in today, which will be up on the website shortly. And so everything is really, really pretty compressed. So I need more room for that. And if the ink comes in a timely fashion, then there's going to be a lot of new ink within the next 3-4 months. So I need more room for ink and more room for pens and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, that's what I was doing. But anyway. All right, let's take a look at what we got. Looking at my bench here. Let's see what we got to work on today. Here's the forever evolving. Here's the pen for the desk set. We're gonna tackle this one first. See if we can get that going. This came in. This is a Danish Montblanc button filler. I've not actually worked on one before, but assuming we can get it open, it should be very similar to other button fillers. I got a couple pens to clean, which I may or may not do. A couple Lamy 2000s. And then we'll start on this guy. And I think that's... And then we've got other pens. I start moving in on some other shapers and stuff like that. So, what size is the button filler? 208. It's polished within an inch of its life. I mean, really, really kind of sad. Usually it's on the button. Yeah, on the blank cap, yeah. Yeah, I don't see it. No, the owner told me what it was. Well, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it here. 214, apparently. 214. Boy, they really polished it. It's not out of it, huh? Jeez. Yeah, number 4 size nib. It says 14 karat. It has the little snow peak with the 4 in it, but it doesn't say Montblanc on it. There's Montblanc on the cap, of course. Yeah. But supposedly it's Danish, so figure that out. This one, I just don't know what we're gonna do with. I was half tempted to buy this from the client, but I mean, if I can't get it open for him, what the hell am I gonna do with it? I guess I don't really need. I don't really need that on there. You've been trying to buy a number 8 size of one of those for a few years in red instead of black. Maybe in another 3 or 4 years to be successful. Hey, I mean, 3 or 4 years, that's a short period of time for pen hunting. Do you have the Montblanc in Denmark book? You don't collect Montblanc. You wouldn't mind owning 4 or 5? Yeah. I stopped at 1. Well, I mean, sometimes we buy books for pens we don't collect. I mean, now that I think about it, I think I have 2 Pelican books. I don't own a single Pelican. I don't think Lisa does either. Do you know if it's possible to replate the rhodium on a sailor pen? The part that has the branding, the cap band, you mean? You cleaned the whole pen with pen flush, and you didn't know it'd react badly with it. I mean, yeah, you would have to. Anything's possible, right? You would have to remove all of the plating and get down to the base metal, I think. Replate. You need probably a base metal plate. What did I do with mine? And then plate rhodium over the top. Yeah, you're gonna have to go all the way down. Yeah. Nickel base plate and then rhodium, yeah. Usually, most everything starts with nickel. That's one thing we should have played with. There just wasn't enough time to get my plating system out. Yeah, remove it from the pen. It sounds like it's time for a new cap, is what it sounds like. You get to that level. It is possible that Sailor might be able to tackle it for you, but you're talking months and an expense. Tank plating would be the only way to make it look as good as a factory new part. Where you drop it in the tank like electroplating. Is that what you're talking about? No. Boy, that really filled up really, really well. So much so that I'm pretty confident we're just gonna put a little bit of what is it? Was it a 1911 or a Pro Gear? Or Pro Gear Slim or what pen, what model? $1911 standard. $1911 standard with rhodium plating. Black? What color? What color? I mean, you might get lucky finding a. I mean, it doesn't happen very often. It's a blue pen with rhodium trim. Oh, wow. I was going to say, if it was black, which is uncommon enough as it is in a 1911 standard, you might be able to find a parts pen in Japan. And then that's just way easier. I'm going to seal this Snorkel up because I really liked how it filled, so we're going to do that, and then we don't have to worry about that part of it. Quite a few Montblanc you got from Japan at good prices. Yeah, they're popular over there. Vintage ones, you find them all the time. Typically like 200 series and Well, now that I do that, I wish I wouldn't have done that. It's just out a little bit more than I wanted it to be. For heaven's sakes. There we go. I did not get around to outfitting my salad spinner yet. I sort of remembered it about 2:05 today, which was too late for me to, and I realized I probably need to put a cutting attachment on my Dremel to cut off the piece I need to cut off. So I'll wait for another day. Would it be useful to make an instructional video about it or do it on stream? I suppose I could probably do that. Nice writing pen. Or keep it a secret? I mean, I don't care. There's a few things I do keep a secret, but I don't rank salad spinner configuration up there in my list of trade secrets. Plus, I need to probably get my lighter and. Random tangent. Did I tell you I found a definitive date for the White Schaefer statues? No, do tell. Where did you find it? Is that what you were going to send me? Is that why you asked me for my email address today? That's awesome. May 1948 for sure. Is there a listing of all of them? Oh my God, you can't do this to me on stream. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what we're talking about here, if you were ever in a newsletter shared with you, or saw pictures of our former store, we had 4 statues. Okay. Mother's Day, Father's Day, wedding, graduation, first day of school, Christmas. 6 plaster Schaefer statues. We're in our store. The Christmas one is the rarest of the bunch. Wow, it shows 4. Which ones? Mother's Day, Father's Day, first day of school, graduation, probably? You can't type fast enough, David. I'm going to use the old salad spinner on this. Beth, if you're watching this, a great pen. The photo is lousy. Oh. Because of course it is. Day of 48, though. Oh, wedding. First day. So not graduation. Definitely no Christmas. Pretty soon we won't have to deal with this nonsense. No Christmas. Didn't have to give up those statues. Those were personal property. They were not property of the business. It's a photo of a dealer's display showing the current displays offered. Wow. That's cool. Very cool. Well, we want that. Did I get it? It's... All right, so those are done. That's good. Now this makes me a little nervous. Maybe a 48. Well, so the button comes out. It's just like a regular button. Stop. Sometimes they have a hanger. Oh. You can't remove these from the back. All right, well. Friction fit or threaded section? There it is. Not much to it. Friction fit. Yeah, this looks like a... Boy, isn't that interesting? The bar says made in England. Again, this is why since I've never worked on one of these, I wasn't... Yeah, this is a standard. Should be fairly straightforward now. Saw a few photos of a hanging bar and was afraid bad things were going to happen. That's all right. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's a replacement. The barrel looks fairly normal. It's got some ink in it, so I think I'm going to send it in an ultrasonic for a minute. I should mention while I'm thinking about it, completely random tangent here. If you were interested in the Soda Pop Sailor Anchor Drop, they are all gone. And I ordered a lot. So. And I doubt at this point there are any left. And a toy. Interestingly, not, well, I guess not interestingly, all the people that signed up for the pen did not. Boy, that's such a flimsy sack. Did not buy it, so keep that for reference for now. Mm. That's a pretty big sack size. All right, now we're getting there. That almost might be a 20. It seems really big. Yeah, that's huge. That's an 18. It's pretty clean. Senior Duofold calls for a 23 next, so you can see 18 in that pen. Yeah. It actually seems a little bit big, but let's see how that measures up. Works. Exact. I don't know that I want to necessarily knock this nib and feed out. It's got a very strange section. It blows through just fine, so we're gonna avoid that at all costs. put some new shellac in here so it's not quite as thick as I usually like it, but I don't think it's mixed up. A little too light for me, but I was getting low and sometimes I have a little left over, so I just throw it in my. Well, that is a very, very weird. Well, I hate to say this, but I almost got going to add this to my sack collection. Start a new bag. Yeah. Be careful. When I come to visit, I might like put little Esterbrook sacks, like, under the pillow, in the bathroom. I probably don't need that. Although Dan Kirchheimer might suggest otherwise. For a second there, I initially read that as start a new blog. The Old Sack blog. All right. Then I'll send a package to Lisa from you with my return address if you leave old sacks all over here. Well, let me guess what would be in that package. When I mentioned yesterday, it said something about a large format printer. She says, "Oh, a typewriter." She says, "What kind of large format printer?" I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. Not something you want. I am certain." All right, well, what do we think on this guy? It clearly does not seem to be. You said that? You're happy to hear it. Clearly does not seem to be affected too much by heat or water. I suppose I could continue to soak it, but I am just stymied that this hasn't been affected. Soak it in naphtha. I was thinking about doing that. My client hasn't emailed me back, so I was like, well. Up to the threads. I really need to get commercial grade naphtha is what I need to get. All right, we'll let that sit. Optional last resort is use a syringe, inject the stuff into the barrel through the lever opening. Yeah, yeah. My concern is how this is set up. How this lever is set up here. That it's already a little floppy, but I guess I can get in there. But I don't want to put too much pressure on it in case there's some funky J-bar setup that I'm not aware of. And with Century, it could have been anything. So I had to do a writing sample this morning for a client. And on the list of pens that he was familiar with was Lamy 2000. So I inked these up. For a second, I thought about keeping them inked up and then maybe using them, but I also had inked up like 4 other pens, so it takes me forever to go through any number of pens, so I didn't need 2 more. One of them was a really lovely Legacy 1 with the stub nib. It's such a good nib. I'm thinking about, right now it's on a green Legacy with the 2-tone cap, but I'm thinking about putting it in. I've got a blue Legacy 1 with a gold-filled cap. And I'm thinking of putting the stub nib in that one. And then that will be the pen I use for my daughter's wedding, but I got a year and a half yet to figure that one out. You have a spare Legacy 1 nib unit? I know someone looking. I don't, actually. Do not, sadly. Just happen to have 2 Legacy 1s, and one's got a medium nib and one's got a stub. I don't know how I lucked out, but all right, those are gone. All right, let's see. But boy, that stub is great. That's a great, really very nice stub nib. Why they stopped making that? Australians are currently 5th, 6th, 7th, 5th, 6th, and 7th in the Giro. Not too bad. Yeah, I'm up to what did I start last night? Stage 5. So I'm still a little behind, but I'm getting there. I've resorted to I try not to watch it in the evenings because that's Brian and Lisa time, but it's usually sometimes it's like the last 30K or something that I didn't get to watch. Letta retired and there was no one left to grind him. Yeah. Super shortfall on Schaefer's part, isn't it? Not training the replacement. I have enjoyed the bits of the first 4 stages of the Giro anyway that I watched. I think this sack probably could have been a little bit thicker. I mean, we could have maybe squeezed something bigger in there, huh? I don't think he'll mind me fixing this up because there's no other way we're going to be selling that way. That gut set with the. And it doesn't right. This is a replacement Parker nib. The later vacuumatic replacement. You think by then Fort Madison was all but shut down, they didn't care. I got news for you. I still don't think they care. It's nothing you don't already know, though. There is a new Legacy coming out. So I guess there's that. Coming out next month. Go from 33 different nib options to now medium and maybe fine if you're lucky, as just said. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, coming out with pens with only a medium nib. It says something about the product you're selling and who you're selling it to. Now, maybe 33's a little excessive, right? I mean, Esterbrook had 32, so I get it, you know. Of all people, I understand, right? But so bad nib. Yeah, I might not actually get to watch the Giro tonight, so I love it when they have a rest day because then I'm like, one less day behind, but I'm already so far behind. It's because I know it's going to be an exciting Giro. I know the whole thing. By the time we get to the end, we're gonna look at it and we're gonna go, man, that was. I hope we say it's one of the most exciting Giros in years. As evidenced by crashes in the first couple of stages alone, you just can't you can't count anybody or anything out. Gotta head out for the rest of the day. All right. Enjoy the rest of your repairs. Thank you. Thank you for your help. As always. Okay. Let's polish this up while we're waiting. We have to do the elephant a little justice here by having a beautiful pen. How time travel was last night. You'll have to look at the 1 hour highlight pack this afternoon. I finished restoring some pens. Yeah, don't tell me who's in the lead. Please. It's been pretty good so far. I just hate, I used to in the past I would sit there and I would maybe like if it's a flat stage or something, I would kind of forward through the first 150K or whatever, 100K. And watch the end, but my goal this year is to ride more. But I've also been, I also have more pen shows on my schedule, so I'm actually pen shows and a small vacation planned next month. So I'm trying to get ahead of my annual numbers. The elephant's name of the death set is Babar. You've got a Conway, Stewart, and a Burnham to fix up. Nice. I got a Conway too. I think today is my rest day, but I think I'm about 80 miles ahead of where I need to be for the year, which is almost a week. Figure I'll miss about 4 days next month, but then Lisa's gone for a week, so I got nothing better to do with my time off. I'm actually considering attempting a half Everest. Next month. If you don't know what that is, that's climbing your bike half the elevation of Everest, Mount Everest. A full Everest would be the full distance, 8,000 however many meters. In one go. So 4,000. The half Everest would be 4,000 and whatever meters in one sitting. Which is probably going to take me about 6 hours. Probably longer. Probably take me 6-7 hours if I can even do it at all. So. And yes, it is crazy. It's completely crazy. All right, let's get a sack. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I figure, when Lisa's gone, if I'm gonna do some insane bike challenge, that's a good time to do it. So either a half Everest or something crazy like a 200-mile ride, maybe. I like that. If I did 200-mile ride now, I'd be able to catch up on all the Giro stages, but. Well, we'll see. I did one ascent of the Alpe d'Huez Sunday, which I've done before, but just trying to I haven't done it in a while, and I just want to get a feel of how hard that's going to be. Let's do 4 times. You fall behind in kilometer count. Weather is poor and wife has some medical issues you're dealing with. I'm sorry to hear that, Gary. If it's meant to be, you'll get it, but take care of your wife first. I always put 500 in the last week of the year, or at least I have the last 2 years. But I don't want to rely on that. I'd rather be ahead. Of course, then I'm also about I'm just shy of my elevation goal for the year too. I'm about 100. I try to do about roughly just less than 100,000 meters of climbing. I started out the year great, but it fell off a little bit. In lieu of elevation, sometimes if I'm a little short for the week, I'll pick a shorter profile on Zwift or a flatter profile on Zwift, and do that just to get the miles in. Which I realize is, you know, the metric is time in the saddle. Or elevation, but miles or kilometers or miles is really kind of a poor metric to follow. But it's what we're used to, right? All right. We're gonna let those. How does this barrel look? Doesn't look bad. Nice crisp imprint. Oh, we gotta clean this up, don't we? love to get my miles outside, but if I had to rely on outside miles for everything, I wouldn't get anything at all. Unfortunately. All right. We'll let that keep soaking. What else we got cooking over here? Those are done. Let me pull another tray or pull a couple more pens here. Give me just a second. Let's I'm gonna get a beverage. Let's just take a couple minutes. All right, I'm gonna hit the ad over here on Twitch. I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, so everybody get up, stretch, do something. I'll be right back. All right. Thank you for that quick break. We'll let those. We'll look at that Century in a little bit. We'll just kind of test it every once in a while. Next up, I got 4 Watermans and a more. These all came to me in a collection that I just bought. So Yeah, workplace accident, cannot use her hand. Last week it was 12 months since the accident. You're slowly getting there. Wow. Wow, it's a slow roll. I'm sure. Hang in there. Taper right. And we've got an interesting more. Oh, that one came right apart. We got a 100-year. We got taper right. We got. Let's see. Well, let's hope. Let's pray for this. This has got a very nice cap on this taper right. Honestly, didn't think that one was coming open. Oh, now hey, here's a cool one. Look at this. What if I can highlight this with? It did not work, but you see that? The Moore Pen Company. Get out of town. Add that to the list of companies that stamped their sacks. Estabrook, Conway, Waterman. That sack seems pliable, but look how nice these all came out. This one would have disappointed you greatly the minute you inked it up. It is moments away from complete failure. All right, 100 years, obviously 100 year. What is the difference here? We got a visualated section on that one. Not that I need to label them more because there's only one more in the tray. All right. So this one, the feed is askew, so I'm not gonna try to move the nib until we've loosened out and removed the ink out of here. And this one, the feed is set way too far in. So we'll just drop those in. Rest of these seem to be positioned okay. Nice clear visualated section on this more. The levers are the most challenging thing in the world. They fall out when you don't want them to fall out. But that looks really nasty, so. You collect more pens. You have another 2 coming in the post. Missed out on 1 overnight. Never been so happy to miss out as the postage was excessive. I initially overlooked the postage cost. I don't collect very many mores. I have a few that are of interest to me. Primarily early pieces, safeties, or other hard rubber pieces. But that's about it. This one's plastic. It's way too new for my interest. These bars are really, these 2 were okay, so I'm not going to pull those, but. Feel like you're at the dentist office yet? Yeah, those two are clean. They don't need to come out. So Waterman uses a different system. They don't use J-bars. They use essentially a flat pressure bar that sits on rails on the lever. Yeah, this one's going to be tough to get out. Probably not going to mess to try to get this one out. This more has a somewhat similar to those Schaefer bars. No, what's going on? The whole thing is rotated 90 to 180 degrees. Sure looks like a Schaefer style bar. You have a few hard rubber ones and 8 celluloid. Okay. You ever come across an Acme? A more Acme? Schaefer bar is your favorite ice cream bar. It's a little bent. I'm trying to straighten this out. Without breaking it. Ooh, there we go. This is one of those cases where I should not have pulled this to begin with. That looks better. Remind me never to do that again. Sometimes you just don't know, though. After all that. You learned that in your first estimate repair, you saw what you thought was an old piece of clear plastic someone shoved into the barrel, took it out to only find it was meant to be there. Yeah, the spacer. Well, there's no fixing this. Shucks. Next to impossible to try to put it back. Actually, it's not too bad. You need something with a flat end like this. And then you can shove it back in place. And there's actually, there's two little ribs on it that fit in that lever ring slot. This should fit. So apparently more Acme, we're supposed to have like a blue, hang on. They're supposed to have a blue top. Now, there was an option for them not to have the blue top, which then makes them look like every other hard rubber pen on the planet. Now, there is a little indentation here, so I don't know if the blue part would have gone over the top or if this is the non-blue version. But it's a big pen. Here's a senior flat top by comparison. Maybe a little bit thinner. Short lever. Let's clean up this nib here. Very flexible nib. Why they called it the Acme pen, I have no idea, but haven't gotten that far down the road. Big nib. Lined chasing. Big scratch in this case. Big section. I mean, look how long that select section is. It's got to be, you know, inch and a something. No number whatsoever. Lever self-filling. The Moore Pen Company, Boston, Mass, USA. That's it. But big. I mean, you know, ridiculous posted. I mean, even, it doesn't even fit on the screen. If we line them up, it's longer than the oversized, the senior shaper. Now, I can't remember. There is a, I want to say this is 2324, something like that. There's a listing in the Pen Collectors of America Archives reference library that shows this line. But it indicates that they had a blue top. Now this looks pretty good. There is a little line there, and I wonder if, like I say, I wonder if it wasn't something that slipped over the top, and then maybe, and it doesn't look like this ever has had anything on it. Maybe they made it like this, and then if, you know, they slipped the blue part over the top, I don't really know. But, you know, that's pretty nice. So that's the kind of more stuff that interests me. Hard rubber early. What its purpose was in the lineup, I have no idea. Thoroughbred, so this is a thoroughbred. Really cool material. I had never heard of Acme Pen before a week or so ago. So always fun to learn something new. Haven't bothered to look on eBay and see if there are any there. There is layer upon layer upon layer of ink on the end of this barrel. That's better. It's better, but it still keeps coming out. Model L94 comes with the Acme nib. Where do you see that? Is that one that you have, or is it? Because Acme was actual model, separate from everything else. That I do know. Give me a second, I'll reference the catalog. Oh, goodness. Excuse me. Oh. I want to say maybe it was in the 25 catalog. Let me see here. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's supposed to have the blue trim. So in the 1925 catalog, it starts out with the Luxor line. Topping out at $6. The new Tuscan. Monarch, which is an $8 pen. With the green trim on the cap. Major, which had a red, looks like a red, but in a smaller pen than the And then Acme is the exceptional value. Blue tip on cap or black if preferred. Or black if preferred, it says. $944C, $5. Blue trim, number 449C, without blue trim, $5. So, yeah. Couldn't find any, but yeah, I would imagine there. I mean, I don't look for that kind of stuff, but I've never ever seen one, you know. Looking in here. My water is black. I presume that's a good sign. I'm going to change out this water. So I wonder what 5 dirty pens will do to 3/4 gallon of water. And they still have ink, dirty ink coming out of them. Fresh water in there. Twice today. I'm going to drop these caps in here real quick too. Payton Street has one. Some more nibs of Brandon Acme. Yeah, by the looks of it, it's if it says Acme, it's supposed to be on an Acme pen. So I would say that those nibs are incorrect. And it looks like they made 2 sizes. They made a ring top and they made a whatever size that is. I'll have to check it out. I mean, but the sounds of it, if you wanted to collect them, there's only 2 to collect. The big one and the not so big one. No, not a ring top. It's 844 was the smaller one. Monarch had a nib that was marked Monarch. Major had a nib that was marked Major. Colonial just had a the more pen. Lever self-filling, all the same, the more pen nib. And those are, I guess, technically they had one called what they called a grotesque band, 192C. Probably couldn't do that one these days. So anyway. Let's see. L94 with an Acme, huh? Must be a sold one. No. Anyway. Boy, that more nib has got a ton of ink in it. So I'm going to spin these caps out so they get nice and dry, but there's too much ink in them to... Yeah, Frankenpen on that, yeah, I think. But kind of a scarce nib, you know? drop that one back in there. Okay, those two we need to knock out. I got time to do that. I got time to do that. Let's just do that now and get it over with. Actually, let me take care of these caps first. Well, I can't wait till I get the USB one hooked up. Because this is annoying. I mean, it works. Oops. That 100-year cap was just kind of had some like yellowish, orangish ink in it. Okay. Looks good, nice and clean. It just doesn't want to budge. We're getting there. That's the section now. But my nice clear water is all... Let's knock these out, and then I think I'm going to call it a day. Now, this one I can probably just realign manually, but I just want to make sure it's all good. Boy, is that a weird feed or what? That is weird. Look at that. So there's your feed channel, and there's like a cover over it. Huh. That is super different. Just going to polish this up a little bit. Let's just double check this is clean. Good thing. Tell me this only goes in the back way. It does, I bet. Go. Yeah, this guy needs some help. A little bit scrunched right here. Actually goes in pretty well. Finger tight. Well, not finger tight. It's pretty tight, but. I got a couple minutes yet here. I think what I'm going to do is we'll clean up the sections, get those ready. We'll put new sacks on tomorrow. Always get as much off as possible before you take your section file to it. Otherwise, you just end up wearing down your file. Sometimes you get it right here. There's extra stuff right here on this ledge. So we're going to clean these off first, and then usually it's shellac. It's actually pretty good. Text message you have to attend to here. Lisa just texted me from across the hall. I do find it hilarious that she knows that I'm streaming. And last but not least, He should turn out all right. These 1940s Watermans were really, they may not necessarily, I mean, except for that thoroughbred on the end, that's a stunning gray and red vein celluloid. There may not be much to look at. But a nice Waterman nib. They're going to be a fantastic rider. Whoa, this has a short feed. All right, Gary, take it easy. You know what? I'm just going to knock this out. I didn't really want to knock it out, but also really messy under here too, so there's a little bit of something on here that I can't get off. Oops. There we go. All right. Looks good. That'll be a good place to start tomorrow. I'm going to heat this up real quick. I got actually a little overtime here, but well, this doesn't want to open. I just don't want to leave it sit. You never know what's going to happen, so I'm going to seal this off. Oh. That'll evaporate quickly. We'll try it again tomorrow. Where did my tray go? So tomorrow we'll finish up this Montblanc, this Duofold Jr. We'll get those cooking. We'll resack these, and then I have a ton of other pens from this collection. Well, not a ton, but I have other pens from this collection, including a nice swan and a few other pieces that I'd like to get moving forward on. So we'll start working on those. Actually, I'm looking over here. There's a nice ebonized pearl balance, a swan. There's a De La Rue. So a couple other really a couple nice pieces. So anyway, that's it for today. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Have a good afternoon, a good evening, a good morning, wherever you are in the world. Be kind, be well, and we will catch you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.